Okay, so this was the first game that I played at the Pauper Super Qualifier. You can find on my YouTube. I have always been playing 3 envelope in the side for Rakdos Madness, and you can see. I don't remember if I drew them actually, but we can see if they are effective. Can you see the screen I'm sharing? Uh, this was my second match at the Pauper Super Qualifier. And so let's start and see if I made some obvious mistakes, some stupid mistakes, and what we can do to improve them or make them worse. Let me know if it's the music's too loud or something like that. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I'm on the draw, which is not great against Rakdos Madness. Not great at all. I keep this hand. I don't know the matchup, of course. When I see the mountain, of course, I know it's hardly rally because they would have played something, and probably is Rakdos is Mono Red Madness or Rakdos Madness. So tap and go. I think it's easy. Let me speed this up a bit. We do not need to stay playback speed faster. Sure. Okay, they suspend something. We do not draw a land, which is unlucky. I hope they go discard Sneaky Charm, and we can get some value from this hand. Missing the first land of the top is brutal already, I think. They go Gutter Snipe. It's still fine because we have Journey. We take 2, so they have shocked us. If they discard a Sneaky, and they do. Okay, so we can, even missing land drop, we can get some value from Charm, which is terrible in the matchup. Some small value. Okay, here we miss the land drop, which is terrible, and we have to journey that for sure. Yeah, I at the super qualifier, I thought I have been overall a bit unlucky, missing land drop and such, but sometimes it happens. So you can. So we missed 2 land drops. I think I get at least probably maybe 3 and discard Guardian and Cat. Or just yeah, yes, just Guardian. I could also discard Cat since I have 3. I do not need another one. So maybe here I already made a mistake. Probably keeping 3 cats. We do not need to keep 3 cats. I do not think we need to. But those 2 land drop. Yeah, the Guardian is too slow, and even if we oh, I don't have the chat in this. Well, okay, you can see the game, but I can see the chat. Yes, Guardian is for sure too slow in the matchup, and even if you could cast it, it's hard. You find a spot. Besides missing land drop, even if you hit all the land drops, like tapping 4 for Guardian, maybe if you don't have anything else to do, is a choice. But I think often you have a better choice. You have better moves you can make. Yeah, I should have discarded one more cat. Let's hope we never draw the third Squadron Oak and we do not get punished. I felt already a little bit, quite a bit under. Hello, hello. Not Trick Pony, welcome back. I felt a little bit unlucky because of the missing line drops. Okay, we missed another one. And here I think I could concede pretty much. Yeah, probably this game was gone on turn 3. But you never know, maybe they flawed, maybe you draw perfect off the top after. I always play my outs if my opponent doesn't draw anything. No, I think I like that Azorius Gate. I do not remember at what point I concede. Okay, so here I think if I jump a sneak and draw exactly Basisk and they do not have anything, I might be back in the game. But of course we are dead. And it's fine. So, yeah. I tried my best. You cannot do anything when you don't draw the lands in such a fast matchup where you cannot cantrip. So yeah, here my sideboarding is 3 envelopes, as you see, 1 dispel and all the blue elemental blast. Yes, 1 dispel and all the blue elemental blast usually. Because I do want to counter all the draw spell of my opponent. I also want to protect the cat, but first I want to counter the draw spells. I want to shut down their engine if possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the sideboarding. Okay, we open this hand. This hand is very sus because it has no interaction on the stack. You have no interaction. Yes, I would rather have Flood than Screwed in that game. So yeah, I have no interaction on the stack at all, but I have Journey and I have 3 lands, one of which is Basisk. You sometimes... oh, I did Mulligan to 6. Let's see if I can get the first hand, which I... Let's see. What was the end? I Mulligan. Okay, I 1 lander. Very good, actually, if Brainstorm was a land. Or even if Strength was a land. Or even the best would have been if both were a land. This would have been a very good hand. But sadly 1 lander, so we go to 6. And we keep this. I think I put back Strength here. I hope to draw Squadron Hawk. Because Strength is very useful in the late game in this matchup when you want to protect your creature. So you don't care to attack the graveyard with Charm. No, I think the best route is to ignore it. They cannot always draw multiple sneaky, and you can trade with them or you can journey them. If they drew the sneaky, you can journey the sneaky. If they drew Gutter Snipe, you can journey the Gutter Snipe. And I do not think... I think Charm, the only situation where Charm is good is if you get to hit 2+ sneaky. And that's the only situation where when it's good, or some other fringe cases. So I do not like Charm at all. And it's a terrible removal because they can kill your creatures at instant speed and blanket. Monty, salve. Welcome, Paupergeddon winner Lorenzo Montana. Welcome, welcome. I need to learn conceding game 1 early. I always try to play until they kill me and then I lose on time in game 3. Yeah, actually, the last time I played in paper, I tied a game against Mono Blue Terror, which I was like 99% sure I would have won with 6-7 minutes on clock more. But I didn't concede the G2 early enough. I should have conceded faster, and so I didn't have enough time for game 3. So it's a very difficult skill to have, because if I can think of an out, I usually play, but I should You can do that on Magic Online if you're up on time, but on paper, since the clock is shared, it's something you have to take into consideration. And this uh, is a good thing to keep in mind that uh, if you like Kogate, play it. I think it will make you a better player as well because it forces you to learn time management, which I'm actively trying to improve on. But if you want, what is my best chance to win Paupergeddon? I do not think, even if Kogate was the best deck in the room, probably it doesn't give you the best chance to win because the clock and risking to, and like the risk of going to time and drawing is a high risk with Kogate. So let's go with this game too. Of course, Tapland. That's that was as much was obvious, I think. Okay, so here I do not journey because I do not have any other interaction into Guttersnipe or Kessig. I'm very scared of this Delver. Here a Squadron Off would have been great because just trading with a Delver is great because it seems it doesn't matter, but this will do to me, I think, 3, 4, 5 damages, probably. So it's like better than a lightning bolt. Way better than a lightning bolt. So I do not journey to respect Gutter, Snipe, or Kessig, but it's close. It's a close call. Here's something you can consider is casting Strength just to have it in the graveyard and have the flashback free to protect Cat and deploy it since you have a Basis Gate. I do not remember what I did, but I do not think I should since they discarded. Yeah, I think this argument of time is something player do not take into account, but it's relevant for every deck. I think if you are not confident on your clock management, even if you are a good player, you might be better in playing an aggro deck. I think my best chance to top 8 Paupergeddon I've had so far was playing Cool Dota. Last Paupergeddon, I didn't know what to play. I tested a lot of decks, and I could have played Jand or Kogate, but I was really scared about the time. And Cool Dota, I only went to time once. I drew the game against Altertron, and I conceded because I thought we would have been both defeated. It was day 2. Actually, I was wrong. I shouldn't have conceded because I was still in the run for top 8 with the tie. But it is what it is. I did that. Sadly, my opponent didn't top 8. But yes, the clock I think should be considered by more player when choosing their decks. So I think I cycle Lorien. Oh, okay, no. Okay, here I look for an envelope. Here drawing envelope would have been great because I could envelope that and then cycle Lorien to find the land. Of course, I do not draw it. I think I would Blue Elemental Blast, they grab the prize. I do not remember if I did. But I think I should. Sadly, okay, this is hard. This choice is hard because I have to cycle Lorien. I need to cycle Lorien to find my 4th land drop. And so I need to put something back. Because all those cards beside the other brainstorm are very good. I think since they have Lava Dart, I shuffle back Prismatic Strength. Or that's what I should have done, I think, now. because Journey is a bit too risky if they have. I think Journey is a bit too risky if they have Gutter Snipe. I think Strength is the correct thing to shuffle and might be more relevant later in the game. ADP, of course. Of course. I cycle because it doesn't matter. I get kind of rewarded with the hip gate here, I think, because I can make the treasure. They have to respect my sacred cat with lava dart, but yeah. Here, opponent has 5 cards in hand before. Okay, so opponent has 4 cards in hand and a lava dart. If opponent drew well, I think I'm a bit under the bus, but opponent has to have drawn multiple ways to remove my cat, which is not obvious, especially if they keep the sneaky. I do not think it's obvious they have drawn well enough to beat us. It's very likely, but it's not obvious. They lava dart from the graveyard. I expected um, Relic of Progenitus when they did, but they didn't do anything. So here I do not tell them I have multiple cats. So I play one at a time. I will make a treasure. And they have to bolt it. Okay. Of course, exposing one at a time, you also play around stuff like and the festivities. But more importantly, if they had often they have instant speed interaction, and playing multiples doesn't let you pound with just one basis gate. I think have to slow roll your threats since we were not in a rush. Of course, I can now. I want my prismatic strength back. Here I play the cat since I draw the counterspell, but if I didn't draw counterspell, probably I would have waited to protect the cat with something, because if they kill the cat, we have lost. The opponent passed a lot of turns, so I expect opponent to have Pyroblast in hand. Not multiples, not multiple bolts, but maybe opponent had them. I let Kessig resolve. I do not care, because opponent has 2 cards in hand, and if my cat connects, I've won. So Kessig is irrelevant in this point in the game, I think. I would have let resolve the. I would have let Gutter Snipe resolve as well, beside Journey. Even if I didn't have Journey, I think it's correct to. Even if that was a land, I think it's correct to let Kessig resolve. Here I think I could eat the Kessig, but I thought, I'm at 15. Kessig pings 1. I do not think Kessig is enough to kill me quickly. The only thing that would worry me is if opponent resolved um, Gutter Snipe, because with the ping 2 I could die early. Like I could die way quicker, and so I keep my journey for an eventual Gutter Snipe. I don't know if this is correct, but this felt correct to me at that point. Let me wait. Let me put some music back in so you don't hear only my voice. So they attack. I do not care about them attacking. I'm in no rush to cast the Brainstorm until they try to kill my cat. I do not have... I do not want to brain lock myself and lose the game. I will... because Brainstorm can find other life linkers when I will need them, but I do not need to rush. So here I have to cast Lorien first to... Okay, so here I thought I could draw 3 more cards. I do not know what I do. I think I let it resolve because I think I do not care about 3 more cards. Maybe this was very wrong, but I want to protect my cat. No, I look with the brainstorm if I have something. Makes sense. Makes sense because if I blank this, I might want to. I can decide if I want to use the counters, but I think I was playing good here. This was a good choice. What else could I have done? Here. Just counter Reb. Then if they bolt, I have Brainstorm. Which wins if I draw Strands. I don't know, I think this is fine. Maybe some of you here on Twitch or on YouTube are smarter than me, which is likely, and can tell me if there was an obvious downside to look with the brainstorm before like countering before looking for a counter with the brainstorm. I cannot think of anything yet. No, I do not find anything relevant I can think of. Oh wait, I got distracted thinking about the scenario. So what do I see with the brainstorm? Okay. Here I know those are on the top of my deck. Okay. If I counter the Reb, I draw those cards. None of them is a counter spell, and I do not have a counter anymore. I go a little bit deeper in my deck, but if I play Outlaw Medic and they like go draw spell and kill both, I'm dead. So I'd rather keep this counter spell and try to protect those life linkers than draw 3 more cards, which are 2 of those and a mysterious one. I feel this is correct because if I connect twice, I win. I do not need to go 3 deeper and beat them in the long game. I think this was fine. Plus they are dead the next turn. I have to start champ. Sure. Could keep the card to bluff, but I want 1 more life if possible. Here, the worst possible card I can have is Lava Dart, but I can just cast Medic the turn after. Okay, and we win. Here I'm not casting Medic because maybe they have both Bolt and Dart, and for some reason they cast Bolt, so they can make that mistake. And I'm trying to let them make that mistake. Maybe it was not needed. I could just cast my medic. Or maybe, Searing Blaze, maybe they are like, I don't know. Usually I do this thing to let opponent have less information and try to beat them, trying to push them to make mistakes. Wait. About the sideboard, you said in the deck building video that you took the blue monarch to your paper tournament just because you didn't have the white card. Is that right? Yes. Yes, I played the blue one because I didn't have the white one. I think the white is better because the most relevant matchup where you want the white monarch, the monarchy is Jund, and Jund brings in Pyro against you, and blue monarch loses to Pyro, which is very bad. To lose to a Pyro with a sideboard card that should win you the matchup. But I think in the future I have to try to play more stuff like Dust to Dust and such, because I think if you want to go to Paupergeddon, you want to trash decks. You do not want to just win. You really want to like be sure to win as much as possible. So yeah, let's move a bit. Okay, so I remember I mulligan twice. I think this game I go to 6, no lands. No, only once. Okay, okay. I was a bit mad because my deck has a lot of lands. I should mulligan very little, but I got a few in a row. I think here you put back a counter spell since we don't have the. You either put back a counter spell or Squadron Hawk. Maybe. I think those are the choices. I'm not so sure about that. In Lecco, you absolutely wanted to trash the 3 decks on meta. Now we have 15 decks, so it's better to be versatile. You want to be balanced, not to be polarized on Amu. I think if you expect to find like 5 Jand, you do not want to have a coin flip matchup because you because it's too close. The game are too close. You will not win the event if like you need to get insanely lucky to win the event. I do not. Both Tommaso and I like consistently won against elves with the deck as it is without breath weapon. You don't need a breath weapon to win to beat them. You do not need the breath weapon to win against elves. Yes, I do not. As Walker said, now we have 15 decks, so it's better to be versatile. Sure, if you are favored into all those 15 decks, but if you're slightly unfavored into Jan, then you expect to find a lot of them. I wouldn't want either. You change deck. You can. I beat them in the top 8 of the Super Qualifier in July. I beat. I played against expert player. You do not need breath weapon, and giving 4 sideboard slots for a matchup which is at most 4% of the field. I do not think playing breath weapon is the way. Of course, if there is else, White Weenie, fairies, a lot of matchups which die to breath weapon, you can play more. But if they all sum up to 4 or 5%, you shouldn't. You have more room now that you get in with X2. You just have to commit 0 mistakes. Maybe, but So, do I to play a tournament like yours with Breath and play against 4-way Winnie and Dredge? I think you win against 4-way Winnie and Dredge with my deck list. You do not need the Breath Weapon to beat White Winnie, I think. You have Strengths and Counterspell and Lifelink. I think you win against White Winnie. I have close to almost won against White Winnie with Kogate. I think you rather focus on other matchups. But let's move on with the game. Sure, maybe you would have won those game anyway, even without Breath Weapon. So, of course, I should have put back a Squadron Oak because I drew the second. Actually, that Keeper Mule was quite interesting. I got distracted, but I kept the Squadron Oak because of the Mulligan. I wanted to also have a creature to play against type here and Sneaky. But maybe I should have put back a Squadron Oak instead of Counterspell that hand. Here I have to play my Squadron Oak and hope to draw a Brainstorm, of course, as usual. Of course, as usual. Here I will will I? I do not remember if I cycle Lorien. Actually, I think I can wait a turn. Because I have not much to do with my mana, even if I cycle it. Yes. Now I cycle it to not miss land drop. So here, why do I not cycle Lorien? This is very relevant, can change you games. I do not have anything to do with the mana I would get with Lorien, and I have Basilisk Gate anyway. I never pump this turn and waste the turn like this. So I wait to see if I draw a land, and then I draw another land, and then I draw another land, Lorien becomes Ancestral Recall, because it's like, instead of having a land, you have draw 3 if you did not cycle it. Sadly, I didn't draw, or luckily, I didn't draw 2 lands in a row. But I think it's very relevant to remember to plan for the future, plan the turn ahead, and be very careful with the Lorien. Especially, maybe in this matchup is not super relevant because it's an aggro matchup often, but in mid-range and control mirror, let's say, it becomes super relevant. Generally speaking, okay. Generally speaking, do you play Medic if you can protect it? No. Generally speaking, if I have multiple life linkers, I first expose Sacred Cat, because then if they have a Lightning Bolt and they need to kill it, they kill Sacred Cat, and they might not have Lightning Bolt later. They might only have Lava Dart. So usually I go Sacred Cat and then Medic if possible. Also, if I do not have multiple life linkers and I think I can wait a bit, I do not expose my life linker. Probably I will play it next turn with Counterspell backup though. I think. Here we counter. Draw 2, we do not like opponent drawing 2 cards. They bring back the Sneaky. I think we journey the Sneaky. They play a land. I do not know if playing the land is correct, but maybe they can cycle this way. Okay, we got lucky and drew the Dispel. here I decide I can trade with the Squadron Hawk and the sneak, and I can pump the medic with Dispel back next turn, so I do not need to journey it. I do not think it's true, Pietro. I do not think is something relevant. I do not think what you said is something relevant. So here they play. No, we do not to comment. Need to comment displays. So here they are looking for a removal for medic, of course, because they cannot win if my medic keeps hitting. Valimoth, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Good afternoon to you. Sure, we can do it sometimes. We are doing it already with Bragi, some focus testing. I'm losing all the games, of course, because I'm worse player than them. Here with the Sacred Cat and the Blue Elemental Blast, I think we have won the game. I think this was kind of interesting. There were some DeLorean reasoning and some, of course, you counter the draw spells, and here they concede. Okay, so this was my second round at the Super Qualifier.